I just couldn't believe it. So I had to ask again, are you telling me that all of my information has been compromised? My bank account, my social security number, all of that? I could feel the anxiety building. I could feel, just the tension. I could hear the shrill in my voice and the rate of my voice picking up and all of that. And then I took a deep breath. My name is Jennifer Mitchell Early. I help individuals and teams achieve organizational and personal success, and this is Leadership Matters. Today, we're talking about the importance of emotional intelligence together with customer service. So I just had to jump on here just to tell you about a situation that occurred with me. Very, very recently, that concerned me, my money, and my identity, right? So you already know probably where this is going. Without getting into the details, what I will say is, many of the details, I'll give you a high level overview. So I was dealing with a situation recently, like in the last 3 or 4 weeks, probably more like 3, in the last 3 weeks, where I realized that my login information had been compromised. So I let the organization know, hey, I've got an issue where I can't get back in to my account, and this is what's going on. I got a very superficial or high level response, okay, we'll take the information, we'll investigate it. In the interim, you can do X, Y, and Z, but it's all good. It's all well. It's all, everything is all good. So another week goes by and I still can't get on, right? And the solution was, hey, go ahead and try to log on every day. We don't know when, because it's going to another department. We don't know when your log on will be fixed, but just try to log on every day. Okay, I'll try to log on every day. Tried to log on every day, still no log on. Call back. We don't hold for forever, for an eternity, seems like. And okay, well, they're still working on it. I see it here. Let me update the ticket. Your tech tickets, your help desk tickets, things of that nature. Let me update the ticket to reflect the fact that you're still having issues signing on. Another week goes by and I'm getting notifications, I'm getting emails about my account that I can't access to say, hey, we're sending communication to you that we need for you to, look at and respond to. But remember, I can't get into my account. So while you're emailing me that there is correspondence, your better route would probably be to email me the correspondence so that I can respond. Another week goes by and I find out, oh, wait a minute. So you haven't been logging on because someone else that clearly we know now is not you has been logging on. So now there is fraud in my account or concerning my account or with regard to my account, however you want to say it. So I'm like, wait. So are you telling me that all of my information has been compromised? Like my name, my account number, my social security number? How can somebody get in and be me and not be privy to everything that goes along with my account, all of my account information? So I can feel, I can hear myself talking faster. I can feel my voice getting a little bit higher. The anxiety is just building. My mind is running with, oh my God, now I got to deal with identity theft. What else could be compromised? Where else do I need to go? Let me just start looking at all my accounts. You know how you get, your anxiety is through the roof. You feel like you just, you don't really know where to start, but you're moving. You're moving quickly in your mind, but your processes are kind of in slow motion because you don't know where to start first. So that was the state of mind that I was in, and I happened upon an individual in one of my numerous phone calls to this organization who took, well, actually two. The first individual was like, okay, basically this is what's going on. We need to investigate this, blah, 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 blah. If you don't hear back or see anything different in 3 days, then you'll need to, contact us again. So in the meantime, during that conversation, that individual let a department name, told me about the department that would be doing the follow-up. And so that was where I went next, because there was no sense of me going back down the avenues I had been going down previously, because I wasn't really getting any additional information. We had already established that at this point there was fraud on the account and that they were investigating. I got that. But what I didn't know is really how much was compromised outside of this organization. Did I really need to look at other areas, like other accounts that I had, my bank account, all of that? How big was this situation? Did it only involve me? Was it like a breach? What's the situation, and what should I do now to start to be, at this point, you're reactive. I can't even be proactive because the situation has already occurred. I have to be proactive now and try to figure out and stem the flow, right? And so I talked to the next department, and the young lady there was an absolute godsend. Especially now, when you call in organizations, and from someone in training and development, and one who has worked in a call center and one who has trained individuals who work in a call center, I understand how the call center environment works. I understand that when you call in from a consumer's perspective, you sit on hold for 100, it seems like the entire day. I was on hold at 1.4, I'm not kidding you, 3 hours. I just put my AirPods in, put my phone down, kept right on working, right? Because I had things I needed to do. My life can't stop because of this one situation. But I recognized that when the rep answered the phone, that the call queue had to be so enormous that's why it took 3 hours for my call to be received. So I've worked in a call center before, where you walk in and work, you log into your computer, you get situated, and you see a running clock on the screen, somewhere on your screen that tells you how many calls are in the queue. That's how many calls are waiting to be answered. And, if there's over 1,000 calls in a queue, or thousands of calls in a queue, it's going to take some time before that customer reaches you. And I have had the experience of being the rep, the customer who waited like I did for some time to answer the phone, was now highly irate that they had waited that long to get on a call with me, where, quite frankly, in that situation, I was in a call center, I was in a collections call center. I'm not going to really be giving them any good news. You owe us money, we're trying to get a payment, this is what I can do for you. So those calls sometimes weren't the best calls to have. So understanding that, and understanding as a trainer that I've trained people about customer service, about emotional intelligence, about being empathetic, about, understanding all of those things, I am now in a position where I have to, use the tools that I've given other people to use in their jobs. I have to be able to, apply that myself in this situation. So when the rep gets on the phone, I talk to them and I kind of make light of the situation that there were, I waited 3 hours to be on the phone with you. So the queue has to be crazy. I really appreciate you taking the time. I have a lot of questions. Let me, start with this one. Thank you for your patience. I'm always grateful, right? Because I know that, yes, it may be an individual's job to be responsive, but the way in which they respond to me is a choice that they make, right? So to go above and beyond is a choice that they're making to be helpful, because they understand the situation I'm in. They understand the importance to me. And, I think that goes beyond a lot of times good customer service. There are just some people who have the emotional intelligence, who understand their emotions, understand your emotions, and can, navigate very tricky terrain in these situations, especially, when you're talking about someone's money, their identity, the ramifications, repercussions of a breach and things of that nature. So I talked to the last person I talked to multiple times, because once I realized that I had a phone number that wasn't, an automated system that led me to a individual who, understood my concerns, could relate to my concerns, was empathetic to my concerns, I called it back. So I talked to this person probably like 3 times in the course of a week and a half. And what I want to say is, in customer service, we always think about our external customers, but we also need to think about our internal customers. Now, in this example, I was an external customer. I was someone calling from outside the organization. But in order to answer my question fully, appropriately, and accurately, she had to contact someone within her organization. Now, she went above and beyond to do this so that she could give me some concrete information, which I greatly, greatly appreciated. It's nothing worse than someone passing the buck, knowing full well that you're going to be right back in that queue because they did not answer the question. They only did what they were required to do. So in that instance, they could check the box and say, yeah, I did my job. But really, did you? Because when a customer hangs up and they follow your instruction only to be right back at square one again, they are irate. And we already know that an irate customer is going to tell everybody about the situation. They're going to go and do reviews. They're going to tell all their friends. Sometimes when you get, that's the converse happens when it's good customer service. Like, some people will say it, but they're not, as fired up. They're not angry. They're not as motivated to go out and share your great customer service. So, we always want to go above and beyond, so that eventually that becomes the culture of our organization, and that's what our customers can expect to receive from us. Great customer service. Now, I will say, going into the situation, I wasn't exactly sure what kind of customer service I was going to get. I hate to say this, but sometimes when you're dealing with public entities, you often get individuals who are overwhelmed, who are overworked, who are undercompensated, underappreciated, and you get that, you get the brunt of that sometimes. So I will say that I always kill people with kindness, because I really do appreciate the job that they do. Probably from being a trainer or learning and development consultant for over 20 years, it could be that I've seen the back end of a lot of these jobs. I really do appreciate when people do more than what is expected of them, either from their company or even their customer. So, she went above and beyond to reach out to another department. And thankfully, they had internal, great internal customer service, and that they could respond to one another. I have worked and have trained in organizations where that's not the case, where, departments work in silos. There's not a great teamwork. They don't feel like they're a part of one vision and they have one goal, and that they're not for a customer facing. If they don't interact or engage with the customer on a daily basis, they're like a back end or back office process. They typically don't feel the same level of urgency to meet a customer's need, because they don't have anybody in their face demanding or calling over and over and over and over again for responses. They can typically, get an email or whatever and get to it when their workload allows them to get to it. So I really appreciate the fact that this young lady indicated that she had some connections in another department. She would IM them, she would instant message them, and then she would get back to me by the conclusion of her workday, which she did with concrete, accurate information. And I just want to say that there is a level of emotional intelligence involved in great customer service. Empathy, being able to put yourself in someone else's position, being able to understand their position, and understanding. And I often will apologize if I'm abrupt, because I can be rather succinct in my conversation because I already know what I want and the information I'm looking for. So oftentimes I'll say, hey, I know I talk fast, or I know that I'm kind of bombarding you with questions. I apologize. I'm confused. I just am looking for clarification in these areas. I appreciate this is outside the scope of what you do or the information that you're supposed to provide me or you normally provide individuals. But I'm at a loss here, and because it's related in this instance to my identity and identity theft, I have some concerns and anxieties that I'm hoping you might be able to, help me to relax or calm down, or, bring my levels of anxiety down. So, whatever information you can offer me, I'm greatly appreciative of. I'm always appreciative of what people do and the services that they extend me, their patience, the grace, the clarity, because oftentimes I have multiple questions, and sometimes your customers are just flat out confused, right? Maybe as in teaching communication, great communication, right? Or effective, that's a better word. Effective communication is when the message is received in the way, shape, and form that you sent it out, with the way that you intended it to be received. Miscommunication occurs when the sender sends a message and the receiver doesn't receive the message as intended, as the sender intended. So I'm always cognizant of that as well. So I just want to jump on here and encourage anybody, especially after what we've been through as a nation, we don't have the level of service is not the same. The workload is not the same. The number of employees are not the same. So everybody's kind of working somewhat on a short fuse or some type of shortage in general, where they're doing more than they had to do before because you have less people, working together to do it, or you have more issues that arise. For us all to be patient and all to be grateful as we are looking for answers, or as we are giving answers, as we're receiving, customer service, and we're giving customer service, whether that be externally or internally, that we would all be kind and good to one another and appreciative to one another, because this was serious for me. And for someone who does this every day, it's like, we have 12,000 cases of this right now, or whatever the case may be. To them, you sometimes can become desensitized because you deal with it so much. Like, even the person I was talking to was like, yeah, this happened to me last week. They're so accustomed to it, and they learn to take it with a grain of salt. Well, when you're not accustomed to it, you don't take it with a grain of salt. Or when you've had really bad situations that it took you a long time to climb up out of, you're instantly pressed about a situation like this. So I just wanted to say publicly, thank you to the young lady. And, I'm offered to even send a letter to their supervisor and or manager so that, it can be reflected in their performance appraisals, because you don't come across good customer service often. And there's not a preponderance of, even, I should juxtapose that with customer service where people go above and beyond. That's what I want to say. There are people who've learned to be empathetic and learned to be patient and all of those things. And kudos to you all for your good customer service. And there are other people who, for whatever reason, on the day that you called, may have just, you don't know what's going on in folks' lives. There could be a reason why, their customer service wasn't the greatest. So I think if we all give each other grace, we will get it back in return. But emotional intelligence is so key to be able to recognize how people's emotions and even our own emotions play into situations, how to regulate those emotions, and how to move forward in a positive light. Thanks for watching. I rambled a bit. Thanks for if you're with me. Follow me as I was flowing. I appreciate that. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.